folks, it's something of an apology to an extent anyway. Yes, I seen something today on that there YouTube from, is she called Megan Fox? No, she's not. I think she's Megan Kelly. Megan Kelly, I do apologise. Many of you will know who she is. I didn't really till only 2 to 3 weeks ago. I don't know much about her, but I quite like her from what I've seen. I've seen her doing something with Trump about a week ago. I've seen her doing a couple of things with old Lawrence Fox today, which is what I'm going to talk about. And this is where the apology of sorts comes in. She was talking to Fox about his outburst the last week or so that lost him his job at GB News and had everybody and the dog in the country calling him, name calling him, including myself. And she was giving a bit of background to the story. And to a great extent, she was on Fox's side, which initially to me seemed a bit crazy, being as how she's a woman herself. But anyway, as I say, I don't know old Megan Kelly there. Now, many of you may like her, many of you may not, but I would imagine many that watch GB News and those kind of programmes probably will. I tend not to. Many of the conspiracy theorists amongst you will probably like her, but maybe I'm wrong. As I say, from the little I've seen, I quite like her. She seems to be pretty much on the ball. And she was having a chat with Fox today about all that happened with this. Is it Alice Eve, is it? Sorry. Ava Evans. Alice Eve, she's an actress. Trevor Eve's daughter here, what are you on about? I don't know who I'm shouting. I think I'm shouting at myself, so let me apologise for the shouting there. Ava Evans. Now, I did see a little bit of the Ava Evans chat on the political channel on BBC that started all this off. And I didn't realise how disparaging she was to men. I didn't realise that as the guy next to her was talking about having a Minister for Men's Mental Health, I didn't realise how many times she shot him down and how many times she tried to push women forward over men. I only seen a little snippet of it. When I see more, I can understand to an extent why Fox was miffed. But that's not what really what I'm going to talk about. What I'm going to talk about is old Megan there. She's talking to him. And they're having a chat about what went on and so forth. And she's saying when she's seen old Miss Evans, she was a bit put out by her and about the things that she said and did. For all she's a woman like myself, she said I think she went too far and she was very much against males, which was wrong. She said, I can see yourself, Lawrence, how you was upset with her and upset with some of the things that she said. And she said, I'm very much in your corner. But then what she said, and I thought this was important, now I believe Lawrence Fox has put some snippets from old Ava Evans's social media online. I think he's done, although I've never seen that, I think he's done wrong. I think what he should have done was when he did that rant on GB News a week or so ago, he should have finished the rant with the following. And this is the following. Megan was saying, Megan Kelly was saying, she said, oh yes, she said, it's obvious that she's not over keen on men, although I don't know why. She said, because when you look at a social media, in a social media, she's saying things, this is Ava Evans, the one that was on the end of old Lawrence's rant, she said things like, oh, I wouldn't, I'm not going to say it on here because I'm trying to keep it as a clean channel, I wouldn't S-H-A-G. I'm sure people can put that together and work out the word. I wouldn't S-H-A-G him. I wouldn't S-H-A-G you. She says that, Megan was saying, all the time about men that she finds weak or offensive. So she says that on a regular basis. Now, that was all that Fox said about her. So when he said it live on air, he should have said, I know viewers you might think I've got a bit hard on her there, saying I wouldn't S-H-A-G you, but just to add a little bit of context to my rant there, she says things like that online all the time about men. And this is what Megan Kelly said. She said she seems to say it all the time, and it seems to be a line that she particularly likes, or a word that she particularly likes. Now, you see, when I first seen about this Anna Evans thing, I seen it on the Jeremy Vine show the day after, or 2 days after, it aired on GB News. And she came across as all meek and mild and was very offended by it. And I cannot believe they were saying things about me like that on air, and I felt awful. And why would he use them words about me? Then a day later, I heard her say she's had to go. She had terrible conversations with her dad, where she had to speak to her dad, and she said, there's a man on air, Dad, saying this about me, and he wouldn't do this with me, and he wouldn't go to bed with me, and all of this. And me, who's only a part of a story, is feeling sorry for the girl. And me, as a person, I always tend to come down on the woman's side first. Rightly or wrongly, it's what I do. More so in this day and age. But when I'm proved wrong, I will then call the woman or turn or say, and that's what I'm doing now. I cannot believe she's saying them things on the Jeremy Vine show and then saying she's had to tell her dad about all these awful things that Lawrence Fox has said. I cannot believe she's saying that to people when at the same time she's been doing it herself on social media for God knows how many weeks, months and years. And I cannot believe that I've never seen it reported on the press or seen it on the TV up until only today. I just can't believe it. And I think Lawrence Fox, I think you made a massive mistake there, matey. Had you have said that, as I say, after the rant, I think it would have made the rant seem all the more, I can't think of the word, apt. You'd have been saying it for the right reason, because you'd have been batting back on the things that she had already said. I seen something on, I think it was this morning, the day after old Ava was on the Jeremy Vine show, and they had old Nick Ferrari on there. And I know he's long-winded and has a lot to say, but I've got to say, most of what he tends to say is normally, again, pretty much spot on. And he was defending her, saying she's worked on my programme at LBC, she's a great journalist, she's a great this, she's a great that. He shouldn't be saying those things on air about her, and it's really awful to women. He shouldn't be saying it. And I agreed with Nick Ferrari. I wonder whether Nick knows that on a social media, she's saying them things about men. Because if she is, and Meghan, is it Kelly, has no reason to be making it up. As I say, I believe Lawrence Fox has since done screenshots of things that she said on social media. I cannot understand the whole furore over it. For me now, looking back, although I don't particularly like Lawrence Fox, on the back of what he said, he probably should not have lost his job. But he just never put the whole thing into the right context. Had he have done that, he would probably have still been working at GB News, and people would have probably had more sympathy for him, and would probably, to a great extent, have turned on old Ava for saying these things initially about men, and also for the thing that was done on BBC that started this whole thing. As I say, Lawrence, you made a mistake saying what you did. But if you'd have said what you did and then followed it with what Ava had been saying about men in the past, I think you'd have probably gotten away with it absolutely scot-free. I can't believe a man that's supposed to be as clever as you're supposed to be didn't add that to his arguments at the end of the show before old Danny Boy went on to something else. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. Don't know what you think, viewers.